If you do social media marketing and you want to save time, in this video I will show you how you can automate your social media reports using Integromat and Google Data Studio. So the first step is to, connect social media to a spreadsheet with Integromat. So I'm going to start with connecting Instagram, and here you have to start by, adding a Facebook connection first, and you also have to start with the user insight module. So even though we're going to use the user info module, for some reason, if you don't use the user insights module, you won't have the necessary authorizations. So that's why here, okay, we connected, and then we can go on, delete this, and move on to the user info module to get the info we need. So there we go. So it's pretty simple. I'm just adding my connection, the page, because, well, you need to have an Instagram for business account, so you need to have a business account, and you can only look for info for business accounts as well. But yeah, so here we go. We have the number of followers and all the insights we're interested in. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a row in my spreadsheet to be able to, add the info in the spreadsheet. So here, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add a new row because this is the first, the first step of the scenario. So every time it runs, it should add a new row. So, okay, I need to extend some permissions. So let's do it. Okay, so now I'm going to find the spreadsheet that I showed you earlier. Okay, so now I have to, uh, select the spreadsheet. So I've already created the spreadsheet. And one thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to add a date because the goal is for this scenario to run every week. And so every week, every Monday, I want to add the date of the week so that then I can add it into this dashboard. So this is why I'm adding this with the now function and the format date. And I'm just adding the follower count to the spreadsheet. So let's check it out. Okay. Well, okay, there we go. As you can see, we have the number of followers and the date of the day. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do also is that I'm going to store the, I'm going to store the row number because the thing is when you use a rotor and a Integromat, you cannot use the info in the other branches of the scenario. And here I need to keep in mind, I need to remember, I need to store the row number because then when I will run the other branches of the scenario, I need to update the same row, because I want everything to be all the data to be in the same row. So that's why here I'm using data store to be able to save this row number for the other branches of the scenario. And and here what's very important, I forgot to do the first time, is to add a key. So the key name is going to be row number, and then to check the box overwrite existing record. And this is because, every time the scenario runs, it should be replaced with the new row number. So don't forget to add this. So what we need to do first is to get the row number that we stored previously, and then we can open the Twitter module. So this is a premium module, so it means that you will only have access to it if you have an Integromat premium account. So this is something to keep in mind. And then here, since we already created the row in the first branch of the module, so here what we're going to do is that we're going to update a cell. And so we know that the cell is C, but we have to use the row number that we stored previously. So that's why I'm adding here the row number record in data store. And so this is going to give us the row number. And then the value is going to be, the followers. So okay, followers count, perfect. Okay, so now that we have this, let's run it first and see if it's working. So let's go. So as you can see, well, it's working as intended. So we can go on. And now what I want to add is my TikTok analytics. So this is a little bit more tricky because there are no TikTok module on Integromat. But what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use a TikTok API with a service called Rapid API. So let's go ahead and see how this would work. So this API will allow us to get info from the user feed, and it's free up to 20 requests a month. So since we're going to run this weekly, it's going to be at most 4 or 5 requests, so it's okay. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to use the HTTP module with Integromat, and so we need to get the response, the HTTP response, so that we can use it in the module. So here we go. So here we have an example of what the API returns. And so as you can see, we got the follower count. Okay, so now I'm going to do and check what the code snippets look like so that I know what I need to add in the HTTP module. Okay, so we have the host, the key, and the host again. So now I go back to Integromat and I add the HTTP module. Okay, not this. So let me add the correct module. So HTTP module. Perfect. And I'm going to make a request. This request is going to be a GET request. So for the URL, all you have to do is go back to the Rapid API and then use the URL that's provided. So to get the API, all you have to do is, well, use the query and then add the URL to it. So that's what I'm doing right now. So you can see this, and then let's add the query, and then here we got the to complete queries. It's not working because there's no API key, but it's the correct one. And then we're going to add the headers. So the headers are also specified in the code snippet, so it's pretty simple. All you have to do is copy and paste. And then once we got this, we can go ahead and try to run the module and see what we get. So as you can see, the service cost is 200, so it means that the request worked and we got the data we are after. So now we have to find the what we're interested in. So what we want is the follower count, and we need to add it to the social media sheet. So let's copy the other update cell module. So here we're going to use the D column because it's where we want to add the TikTok followers, and then we're going to go ahead and find the follower account. There we go, and just add it to the spreadsheet. So then what I also would like to get is the YouTube followers. So I'm also going to use an API on Rapid API because there used to be a YouTube module in Integromat, but for some reason they don't have it anymore. So here the process is pretty similar. All I have to do is go ahead and look for the data master. So here it's going to be the channel details. Then I need to add the ID of the channel and what I want. So here I only want the statistics. Okay, then test the endpoint. And here, as you can see, I have what I'm interested in. So this is a follower count. So as we did for TikTok, I'm going to go ahead and copy paste this in the HTTP module, and then we can make the GET request. So there we go. So the status code is 200, which means that the request was successful. So now all we have to do is get the subscriber count and add it to our spreadsheet. So there we go. We got all of the data in the spreadsheet. So I'm just going to switch around the TikTok and the YouTube subscribers. Okay. And now we can go on and create our dashboard. So to do this, we are going to use a tool called Google Data Studio, which is completely free. So the way it works is that you just have to create a report, then select your data source. And for us, it's going to be the social media spreadsheet, well, sheet that we've been using. And then you can go ahead and well, style and design your sheet however you want. So I'm going to speed this part up because well, it's very interesting, but basically what you need to do is just well, add the data you want, add the colors you want, and so on and so forth. So now that the bulk of the design is done, I can go ahead and I will add a graph. But to do this, I just have to modify my sheet a little bit because what I want is a weekly report. And so I'm just going to add fake data just to well, have 3 weeks worth of data that I can use to make the report. And the reason why I'm doing this in the video is just to show you how to make the graph, but I guess what you can do is just start with adding the individual followers count, and then once you have enough data to make the chart, you can just make the chart then. And so now one thing I have to add is since I want a weekly report, I'm just going to add this week start date Monday, so that instead of having all of those different dates where there's no data, I only have the first Monday of the week. So there we go. So as you can see, we only have so the 3rd, the 10th, and the 17th. And now I just have to go ahead and try to find a chart design I like. Okay, so I like the bar chart. So there we go. We have our data. And so one last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the date range of the graph because I want the date range to be a monthly date range. I want the graph to be a monthly graph, but I want the rest of the report to be weekly so that it only displays the number of followers for the current week. So this is why I'm changing the date range and adding a custom date range. And there we go. So there we have it. We have our report. I hope this video was helpful. I will add the dashboard in the description box if you want to copy and use it as a template. And as always, if the video was helpful, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.